We've got federal spending that is simply stupid and wasteful. Do you expect President Obama to respond to that?
Well, we're going to see when the Senate presents a budget tomorrow. This is now going to be the first one from the Democrats in 4 years that will obviously have been done with the cooperation of the White House. We will see whether there's any real spending. I suspect the answer will be no. They'll do some show cuts. They'll say we'll spend, waste and abuse here without specifying. But I think in terms of how much the deficit is and how much is being spent, $3.6 trillion, it will be a trivial amount. The real question is, will they cut entitlements and will they do tax reform? The president says he's offered stuff on the table in the back room with the Speaker of the House, but has he ever proposed it? Has he ever gone public,
we haven't seen
made
any
a
of that.
speech to the nation? Has he said, I will change the way we measure inflation? Has he said, I'm willing to raise the retirement age? That's what a president's supposed to do. The president's supposed to lead on this. The reason we haven't gotten anywhere on this is because he hasn't led, because he is not interested in cutting spending. That's not how he sees the mission of his presidency.
Okay, now the question is why, and I asked that question earlier to Crowley and Combs. Is the president a socialist? Is he just a person who wants to set up a system where the Democratic Party is invincible because they dole out the money that the people need and the medical care and all of that? What is the motivating force? Barack Obama is an intelligent man. He knows the debt is approaching $17 trillion. He knows we're spending $1.5 million to study overweight lesbians, or he should know, okay? But he doesn't seem to care. What's the motivator behind him?
Because I do think what he really wants to accomplish, and he doesn't hide this, it was the content of his second inaugural address. It was the content of the first address he made to Congress after being sworn in 2009. He was completely open about this. I'm here to change America. And he went specific 3 ways: health care, energy, education. He's essentially nationalizing health care, a huge new entitlement that once imposed on the people will not be removed. He wants essentially to nationalize child care for 5-year-olds. That's a new entitlement. He clearly, in the way he's subsidizing college education and cutting college loan burdens, he clearly wants to nationalize college education and to make it an entitlement the way it is in Europe. This is the vision he has of himself, to make America more like the European system, which he sees as a just system with
Well,
less
you know what's
inequality.
interesting about that?
This is who he is.
Okay.
That's the issue.
But here's what's interesting about it. I lived in England for a year. I went to the University of London my 3rd year. And in England, you have to take a test when you're 16 years old, as you said, because the educational system is nationalized. If you score above, you go to college, and it's paid for by the government. If you score below, you're done. You don't get higher education. So in this system, it's a class system. And that's what they have in Great Britain, because it's so expensive to go privately that the working class can't. Here we have community colleges, we have a lot of scholarship money, we have a lot of grant and aid money. It seems to be working fairly well here. But you're saying to me that he wants to turn this thing upside down, which I think would work against the lower classes.
Bill, when you argue with me, you're pushing on an open door. I'm not a social democrat the way Obama is.
But I'm thinking of
if
it
you're
from
trying
his
to
point of
understand
view.
him,
You know?
His point of view, he's not trying to destroy America. He wants to change America into something it's never been. He wants to be the man to introduce what's called social democracy. And that's why he doesn't care about the deficits. That he expects either we can, with low interest rates, it won't be a big deal, or he thinks that his successors, who could be GOP, will clean up after him the way, Louis XV said, after me the deluge.
All right.
So